Today we have the HP Chromebook 11A in the office, and we're going to hop in the box and see if this small, very blue MediaTek powered Chromebook is actually a good option for those of you looking for a low-priced, simple Chromebook solution for basic use around the house or remote learning. But before we get into that, big shout out to MediaTek for making our On the Run to 200K giveaway possible. You may not know this, but we're rapidly approaching 200,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel, and as a celebration of that milestone, we've partnered with MediaTek to give away a bunch of sweet prizes along the way that are all powered by MediaTek. If you want to get entered to win, check the link in the description to claim your entries, and good luck. All right, so let's hop in the box here. There's not a whole lot going on, obviously, with this box. There's not a whole lot going on with a whole lot of Chromebook boxes, to be honest. They're all pretty much brown boxes. But one cool part about this particular Chromebook, A, is the price, $169 or $179. It kind of goes on sale for different numbers. Is going to get you into this Chromebook, and so it is one of the very, very low-cost devices. And that was what kind of piqued our curiosity with it. It's also blue, which is kind of cool. And it has a MediaTek processor in it. So, like I said, we're doing this whole run to 200K powered by MediaTek. Well, we're actually going to be giving away this Chromebook. So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time with it. And so to be straightforward with you, I've already opened this thing up and logged into it and messed with it for a few minutes, because ultimately I just wanted to see if a cheap Chromebook like this is actually worth any of you picking up. We don't tend to review a lot of Chromebooks in this price range. It's just kind of the way it is, because a lot of them are the same. But when they dip down in price this low, it's worth getting them out of the box real quick, checking to make sure they are good, and especially if we're giving it away. We don't want to give away stuff that we wouldn't like to give to a family member or a friend or something like that. So, I wanted to open it up, A, make sure it works, but B, also make sure it's just not kind of crappy. And good news is it's not. Here's the charger. You don't care about any of that stuff, but I'm gonna set it down nice and gently though, because like I said, we're giving this one away. And here we are, and I hope that color is coming off on camera because it's really attractive. I think indigo blue is the color they talk about with this one. I love the way this Chromebook looks. I'm a big fan now, especially in lower cost Chromebooks, or even higher end Chromebooks, of getting away from just having silver. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the way MacBooks look, but I don't love the fact that they're all silver. It's a dark silver or light silver, but it's just, silver, and gray, and kind of bland. Chromebooks don't need to be that way. There's lots of people that make Chromebooks. There's lots of different manufacturers and processors and all that kind of stuff. We should have some color and some interesting things to look at on the outside, and I really like this. It's all that same blue through and through, hinge, every bit of it. Some speaker grills on the bottom, two nice big feet, and I/O is okay. You got a single USB Type A on one side, and then a USB Type C and a micro SD card slot headphone jack. Again, for a low-cost Chromebook, a simple Chromebook, honestly, it's about all you need. That's going to connect you to all the things you need to get connected to, and looks pretty sweet. So I did put that back, and I can tell you, the inside of it, again, you get that same indigo blue color. The keyboard, the keys are quiet, decently clicky. Again, this is a low-end keyboard, so we're not getting the highest-end keyframe here, but the keys feel good. There's obviously no backlighting going on here. This model doesn't have a touchscreen, but one thing you normally get in a device this cheap is a really terrible trackpad. This one clearly is plastic, but the surface is really good, and HP's gotten really good at making trackpads, and there's no weird flopping around. It's not loose. The click mechanism is nice and quiet. So all in all, even though I've only used this trackpad for a little bit of time, I can tell you it's actually pretty good, and that's important because you need the trackpad to work well on a device that doesn't have a touchscreen. It's the main way that you're going to move the mouse around your screen. It's the main way you're going to gesture. It's the main way you're going to get around the entire interface, since you can't reach up and touch things. So it's really cool that HP took the time to put a good trackpad in this particular device. Apart from that, you get this standard 720p camera that's kind of okay, and you're getting a 720p class screen, so 1366 by 768. It's a TN panel. It doesn't look great, and hopefully you can kind of see it here on camera, but you know, this is what you expect in this kind of price range with a Chromebook like this. This is a panel that is not going to get crazy bright. It's about 220 nits. It's like what you've seen in a lot of low-end Chromebooks. The viewing angles don't look great, so you can probably see it getting dark there, and then it'll get really white and washed out there. So you really got to play with it to get the angle right. But if there's one redeeming factor to screens like this in Chromebooks this size, it's the fact that with a smaller screen, you can kind of dial in the sweet spot if you get it just right, and it looks okay. It's workable. It's fine. You know, that's not to say it's a great screen, but there's an option if you go up to like a $230 version of this, like Target has it, I believe, that actually has the touchscreen. So if you get the touch version of this, it's still a 1366 by 768 display, but it is an IPS screen, so you're going to get much better colors, much better viewing angles. I don't know that you're going to get much more brightness out of it, however. So two other things I want to talk about with this one. Again, this is a very, very affordable Chromebook. Basically, if it turns on and gets you on the internet, it's doing its job. But I was really surprised with how rigid the thing feels. So watch, I'm going to wrench on this thing really good. Like, I mean, that's impressive for a $170 Chromebook. And even once I open it up, flip it around this way, and really kind of give it a wrench, you can see some give there, but, and I'm not calling anybody out here, it's no worse than the Samsung Galaxy Chromebook was, and that's a $700 Chromebook. So, you know, it's impressive to see them put something together that's this good, because obviously they had to cut tons of corners to get under $200 for any Chromebook. And the other part I want to talk about is performance. It shouldn't be any surprise to you that this isn't going to be the fastest performing Chromebook on the market. It's a MediaTek powered, so 8183, MT8183, same thing that's in the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. The benefit you're going to get here over the Duet is just pixels. When you're talking about low-end processors, they're going to benefit more than a high-end processor when you cut the number of pixels down on the screen. So the Duet and other devices like it are a 16 by 10, so 1920 by 1200, I think is the resolution on those. That's a lot of pixels to be pushing around for a low-end processor. 1366 by 768 cuts those down quite a bit. You're getting 600 or so pixels off this way and a few hundred pixels off the bottom. That makes processing every one of those pixels a lot easier. And so to me, this Chromebook feels a lot faster than the Duet, even though they're the exact same processor. And this particular one comes with 64 gigs of storage as well. So you're getting a 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage. There are other ones out there with 4 gigs and 32 gigs of internal storage. And that's pretty much the only two variants you're going to see of this particular device. But all in all, that's it. You know, again, this is an affordable Chromebook that has a really cool look to it. That's relatively thin and light. It feels good in the hand. It's going to look really good on a table or coming out of a bag. And if you're looking for something to just kind of have around the house, to get some bills paid, to jump on Facebook, to do some banking, you know, that kind of stuff, web-based task, it's going to do great. It's actually going to do great with quite a few Android apps as well. But again, you got to remember you don't have a touchscreen. So if the Android app isn't optimized for keyboard and trackpad, you're going to run into some issues getting around those apps. So I wouldn't buy this as an Android first kind of device. The Duet's going to do that a whole lot better. But in general, I mean, I'm kind of impressed with this for the price point. I'm excited now that we're giving it away because I think it's going to make a nice addition for someone that, again, is looking for something to use on the couch or for remote learning. I don't know that I would recommend this for remote work. But one other thing I will say, it's hard to show this or show it to you on camera necessarily, but the speakers are actually kind of surprisingly good. They're not crazy loud, but especially for spoken voice and stuff like that, the speakers sound really good. So, you know, if you're taking some calls, again, kids are in Google Meet or Zoom classes or something like that, it's going to do a really good job with that too. And again, for sub $200 price tag, it could make a nice little workhorse addition around the house. But guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Go down there and hit that subscribe button and make sure and ring the notification icon that's next to that if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. But until next time, we'll see you.